And welcome back to episode 5 of the Roll the Tape Sports Podcast. I'm Jacksen Wyatt alongside
Aidan McNally.
And Jalen McKissick.
So we are back. Yes, we took a 2-week hiatus, but we're here to talk about the NFL Super Bowl. What happened? What's our thoughts on that game? And then we're going to talk a little bit about the losing team, the Kansas City Chiefs, and then the NBA.
Yeah, for the NBA, we have some NBA talk. Obviously, All-Star Weekend is this weekend. We're going to be talking about the Skills Challenge, three-point contest, dunk contest, All-Star game. And so that should be pretty fun.
And for our ending segment, we have a segment of This or That, Jalen Hurts edition. Obviously, the Eagles just won the championship. And make sure to follow us on all our socials at Roll the Tape Sports. Almost daily videos dropping on all our socials.
And let's get right into it and roll the tape. So let's get into it. Super Bowl Sunday happened this past Sunday. And the Philadelphia Eagles won big. They were up 24-0 at halftime. They ended up winning this game 40-22. And they're Super Bowl champions for the second time and the first time since 2018. I mean, this game, let's just be honest, it was not close. The Chiefs scored 16 points in the fourth quarter. And I could say both of those touchdowns were against the Eagles' second team defense. The Eagles dominated from the jump. I don't understand. I did not expect this at all coming into this game.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like a tough fought, game that'll probably end where both teams score around 20 points or well, at least in the 20s. It wasn't that at all. The Chiefs had 0 points at halftime and the Eagles had 24 at halftime. So the Chiefs just had no energy from the jump. You could tell that they were just behind. The Eagles came out with that intensity. Patrick Mahomes wasn't playing the level he should be in the Super Bowl, throwing that pick six to Cooper DeJean in the second quarter to put them down by 3 scores. And then really coming out of the gates, they tried, but this Eagles defense was just too tough. Their offense was rolling, and it resulted in a bad loss for the Chiefs. Yes, I know this final score is 40-22, but in reality, it's a lot worse than that considering the Eagles did put their bench mob in.
Yeah, it just wasn't close from start to finish. I mean, me and Aidan were watching it together in the room, and every time the Chiefs just tried to mount any type of drive, it just ended abruptly, either in a 3-and-out or in a turnover. I mean, I think if I'm wrong, correct me. Did the Chiefs not get into Eagles territory until the third quarter, like the end of the third quarter? That was
I'm pretty sure.
So there was chance that they were going to come out and win this game. Shout out to that Eagles D-line. It was dominating all game. Chiefs O-line had absolutely no answers for any of the stunts or the one-on-one matchups. The Eagles secondary was playing.
Crazy thing is, the Eagles didn't even blitz.
They didn't blitz at all. It was literally just
destroying the Chiefs' offense.
And this is different than like the Bucks Chiefs Super Bowl when the Chiefs had like a second team O-line and they had all their starters. They were just getting bullied the entire game. So shout out to the Eagles.
There were even some times where they were rushing 3 with Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter, and Jordan Davison getting pressure. I don't know what it was, but that Chiefs offensive line was really the story in this one, and they couldn't stop a light breeze at all.
No, another thing I would have to say that not too many people are mentioning, the Chiefs' running game was non-existent from the jump.
Stone cold.
And so you get 3 rushes by Kareem Hunt, 3 rushes by Isaiah Pacheco, and 1 rush by Pirine or whatever his name is. But that's 7 rushes by your running backs in a Super Bowl game. The Chiefs are a team all season long that whenever they won their games, they ran the ball at least decently well. Kareem Hunt would score a touchdown, get a good amount of yards. Their running game was non-existent, and I think that's what caused the Eagles. Obviously, they knew they were going to pass, so you put 8 guys back in coverage, you only rush 3, and you're still getting pressure. I mean, it's unfair.
It is almost unfair.
And I don't know. I don't understand what went on. People are going to look at it and say Xavier Worthy had a really good game, but he had 150 of the 157 in the fourth quarter. So I don't know. I think they could use another receiver. if I'm Kansas City. Obviously, they're going to
They
get
get
Rice
Rasheed Rice
back.
back next year, so hopefully.
But is Kelsey going to retire? He's 34 years old, maybe 35.
He's
I'm
definitely
not
thinking about
sure.
it as we speak right
Yeah, he's
now.
definitely thinking about it.
Yeah, he's pondering it. So I mean, there's a lot of things, and I mean, you look at their offensive line, Joe Turney or whatever his name is. He's not a tackle, and he was playing left tackle in this game. He's a guard or a center, and that's just I could see that being an issue for them. Moving him inside might help, but they definitely have some holes on that offensive line, and I think they need another weapon, maybe a better running back as well. I mean, there's a lot of things. The Chiefs, they went 17-3. They had a really good run. But I don't know. I just think they've had better teams in the past. I didn't think this was a Super Bowl team, and they proved me wrong until this point. And then we saw the real Super Bowl was probably the Rams versus the Eagles, if we're being honest, 2 weeks ago. So 3 weeks
Yeah.
ago now. So I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on the Chiefs going next year?
It really depends on if they can bring back all the starters. And even then, even if they do that, I still don't know if they're going to make it to the Super Bowl again. As we saw this past season, there were literally like 7 or 8 plays that if it didn't happen, then that's an 8-win football team. I mean, you will look at it, the Chiefs are winning all these games by, single digits, not even single digits, one
They
score
didn't really
games.
score. Like I don't think they scored over 30 this year or something like that.
I think it was week 16 or 17, they scored 30. And up to that point, they were only one of 3 teams that did not surpass 30 points in a game, along with like the Patriots and the Panthers. So, I mean, that's some elite company.
Shout out the Panthers though. They're going to be a team next year. Just wait.
Definitely a team
Yeah,
in the league.
but yeah, this Chiefs offense was obviously Patrick Mahomes didn't play up to his level that he usually did. That was the whole story. The defense was kind of saving him from losses, but I don't know. I think, they used up a lot of magic this year, and I don't know if they're going to be able to, go to the Super Bowl again. And that's even if they return all their starters.
Yeah, like Aidan said, I mean, there was a lot of fluky one score wins this year. I mean, they probably should have lost. The Panthers won. Um, the Bills won at the in the season, in like the regular season. Probably should have lost that one too. It came down to a penalty in the late in the fourth quarter. It's just I don't know. I don't know how they come back from this. They probably bring back the same roster, if not a little bit of retweaks, retools. Offensive line is definitely a necessity after what you just saw from the Super Bowl. It wasn't that big of an issue during the regular season, but once you saw what they did against actual high level competition, it has to be addressed. Defensively,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
fine. They're not bad. They're not elite, but then they're not bad either. So I don't think they're gonna make it back to Super Bowl next year. It's gonna be a playoff team. They might still even win their division, but I'm not
That's
picking them to
that
win.
that kind of leads me to my next question. I don't even know if they'll win the division next year. I mean, the
I
talent
think
in
they'll
that
win the division.
division
I think they'll
is
win the division
insane.
this year.
Denver's really good. Bo Nix is only going to get better. And a
Yeah,
Hall second year for the Chargers. I mean, who knows what's going to happen there?
I mean, yeah,
So,
this Chargers team wasn't even supposed to be near a playoff team this year, and he got them 10 wins and a bid to the playoffs. So literally
yeah.
anything can happen in that division.
yeah, I mean, and the Ravens aren't going away. They still have Lamar Jackson. They're still going to have Derrick Henry. And they're going to probably reload and retool a little bit. And then you got Buffalo, who I think still needs to go out and get a bona fide receiver one for Josh Allen. But that's still a really good team, really good defense. So AFC's hard. I mean, you got the sleeper teams like New England. They could be good next year with a Drake May really at the helm. Um, the Bengals, obviously 9-8. They're a better
They were
team.
better
Joe
than the
Burrow.
9-8 record.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the Steelers, they could figure it out if it's going to be Russell Wilson or Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence. I saw that
Yeah.
somewhere.
I
I
did
don't
see
know
the
what's
Trevor
going on with
Lawrence
that.
thing.
The Browns, I don't expect much from them. And the AFC South is the AFC South. So,
The Wild West.
those goons. But I mean, it's going to be interesting to say the least. And the Chiefs, they don't have much cap room either.
No.
So, I mean, if Travis Kelsey retires, they're going to have a little bit of cap room. So they could make some things interesting. But I think time will tell with that. I don't think he's going to retire, though, if
I
I'm
think
going
he
to be
might come back
honest.
for one more.
I think he'll come back for one more, try to end it on a Super Bowl. He has to propose somehow, I
Yeah,
mean,
you can't just propose unless you propose at the Super Bowl.
yeah, I mean, he had the ring in his pocket the whole time and lost.
Had
Lost
the ring in
match.
like his sock and was just waiting for the right time.
I saw that. It was just so funny. But moving along now to the NBA portion of this subject here, and we're going to just talk about it before we get into the All Star break, because I believe the last games were played Thursday. We're recording this on Friday the 14th. Happy Valentine's Day to all the listeners.
Indeed.
As you can see, we're
Happy
talking
Valentine's
ball
Day.
on our Valentine's Day, so
Yeah.
that's what we're doing. But looking at the NBA standings, looking at the East right now, it's really been four teams that have been dominant at least this month. No, not this month, but this year, since the calendar year. Cleveland, Boston, New York, and Indiana really have been the top four powerhouses since 2025 has started in the East. Another really good team to watch out for, Detroit. They've started to really figure it out. Um, but that's really the only teams that really scare me in the East. I know Giannis is hurt,
Giannis
so
and Dame are hurt.
yeah, so the Bucks. I would like to mention them if they're healthy, but I just can't. The Magic, they're the Magic. I mean, they're just kind of up and down. They keep on having injuries, and then they'll get healthy, and then Paulo will have a big game, and then he'll get hurt. So kind of iffy there. And the Hawks, I don't know. I mean, they score
Yeah.
150, but they still lose. Miami traded away
150
Jimmy
to go
Butler.
155.
Oh, that was crazy. Shout out Jalen Brunson, by the way. Um, the Heat, Tyler Hero doing his thing, all star, but they don't scare me. The Bulls, 22 and 33, nothing. How about Philly, though? Let's touch on them real quick.
Paul
20
George
and
was
34, but Paul George had two more points than me in a game. And
Where he
Paul
played
George
30
is
minutes
making
again.
like,
He played
and he
30
played like
minutes that
30
night, I think.
minutes. Like I don't understand what's going on with Paul George. He's averaging 16 points on the year. Um, I mean he has to be playing hurt. There's no other way that he's putting up 2 points because Paul George last year averaged 23 for the Clippers, and he's had moments with the 76ers this year, but he just looks like a shell of his former self.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, honestly. I mean, you brought Paul George in here to be obviously probably your best wing defender on your team and then give you some offense. And he's still a solid defender. He's obviously not what he was a couple of years ago just because of the injuries. But the offense just hasn't been as consistent as you like it to be, especially for what you paid him for. I mean, you paid him for what, 4 years? Is it 40 million a year?
40, 50 million a year, and he's
40,
getting
50 million a
two.
year, somewhere in that. And you expected him to be your third star. And as of right now, he's just the average starter. I mean that's not what you paid him all that money for.
Hey,
So
you know who Paul George is playing like this year?
who?
Tobias Harris.
I was about to say Tobias Harris. They literally just swapped Tobias Harris for a more expensive Tobias Harris.
They did, yeah. I
Pretty
mean, yeah. Hey,
much.
Tobias Harris is playing pretty good over there in
He's
Detroit
playing pretty
this
good in
year.
Detroit. That was a good pickup from Detroit.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I kind of was like, why? But Detroit's balling. Cade Cunningham, he's a guy. I like Cade Cunningham. He's on the cover for this week's episode. So really shout out Detroit. But looking at the Western Conference, I think there's four teams that are the powerhouse. We could say five with the most recent breaking news trade. I would say the Thunder and the Grizzlies, Nuggets and Rockets are the four in the West. And I would say you have to put the Lakers name in there now with Luka Doncic being on the roster because Doncic, LeBron James 1-2 punch is just crazy. I really did like Anthony Davis on that team, and they really lack a center since that Mark Williams trade fell through. But the Lakers, I don't know. I feel like they could go on a run if they get everyone healthy, and maybe Alex Lynn comes in and gives them some solid minutes or something. But
Hopefully.
I don't know. I like the Lakers.
For me, there's really only three teams in the Western Conference that I can see winning a championship this season, and that's OKC. They have Shea, who's the front runner in MVP voting right now. Great defense. Also, apparently OKC has the greatest net history of all, or net rating of all time. Uh, I think they surpassed the '96 Bulls. Is the team they surpassed, and the '96 Bulls won the championship. So I think the OKC could definitely see a championship this year. I think the Nuggets also have a legit chance,
Hey,
just
Russell
because.
Westbrook.
Just yeah, Russell Westbrook's actually been playing very well as a starter, and I think just the sole reason because Jokic is on that team, he has the experience, he knows what it takes to win a final. Just having Jokic on your team already puts you in title talks. And then, like you said, the Lakers are my last team, just because of Luka. They do lack center. I mean, when you're relying on going out and getting Alex Len, that's probably not the best.
Hey, shout
Probably
out
not the
Alex
best
Len,
center. Probably not
Pacers
the
legend.
best center. Um, but like you said, a Luka LeBron 1-2 punch is almost unstoppable. And Luka, although his numbers aren't looking amazing for the Lakers so far, he's still getting back from that calf strain that left him out for over a month. So it's
So
looking scary for the Lakers.
let me ask this: you really don't think the Grizzlies are a contender in the West?
No. I think if they come across OKC and Denver, I don't think they win.
I
And
don't
it's
know.
been
They got a
proven.
team. I'm
They
looking
do have
at
a
it,
team.
and
No, I love the Grizzlies. I've been a Grizzlies guy since before the beginning of the season. I said that they're going to be like a good playoff team. But I mean, you look in games that they've played like OKC and Denver, they don't win. They can't beat the best, is what I'm saying. And especially not in a 7 game series. Yeah, they might be able to hand like Denver like a regular season loss, but in a 7 game series, I don't know if they take Jokic down.
yeah, I mean, another team that's I like is the Rockets. I don't know. I
Yeah,
like the Rockets this year. I think I don't know. Amir Thompson, he's like insane. He's like the best
yeah.
on-ball defender out right now. Um, and
Those
I
Rockets
don't
are
know. They don't
bad right
have,
now, by the way.
huh?
They're 3-7. Those Rockets are bad right now, by the way.
Oh, they've been
They're three
struggling of
Preseason
late,
they're
wise.
3-7,
but
and they were in a
but
6 game losing streak.
but I don't know. I still think if they're fully healthy, they're scary. Like Cam Whitmore
Oh
off the
yeah.
bench,
Their
he's a
defense
really good
is
player.
probably like the second best defense in the league, I would say. I would
Yeah.
say like they probably have a top 2 to 3 defense in the
Tari
league.
Eason off the bench, Steven Adams off the bench. Shout
That's
out
a
Don't
very
Aaron
sleep
low
on
Holiday.
level
Tari
team.
Eason. Don't sleep on Tari Eason. Tari
I,
Eason is a bucket and he's like an elite defender. So
he's not bad. He's not bad. But looking at the West, I think there's one more team we're going to touch on. A team that made a trade, um, traded away a potential top 5 player ever for a player who is referred to the name Disney.
hey Disney.
The Dallas Mavericks made a trade, trading Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis and Max Christie. And Anthony Davis in his first game balled out, 32 points, something
Three
like that.
corners. Yep.
Um, 16 rebounds, really good stats. But something happened in the third quarter. It's something that happens to him a lot, and it's called an injury. Anthony Davis is going to miss a month after being there for one game. One.
Not
Bro
even.
played. He played one more game than me this season with the Mavericks,
Yeah.
and they gave away Luka Doncic. I don't understand. I still don't
Yeah.
get it. I think though, before I go off on their GM, I think if Anthony Davis is healthy, I do think Davis gives them a better chance to win a title than Luka Doncic this year.
I agree with that.
I still don't believe that.
This year,
I
I
still
like
don't
Luka
believe
a
that.
lot, but I think with that lineup, with Davis healthy, Lively next to him, you could put PJ Washington at the three, Thompson, and then Irving. I think that lineup can win a championship and has a better chance to win a championship than a lineup with Luka Doncic in there and Washington at the four.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think that's crazy to say at all. I was actually I'm not obviously not a fan of this trade because you don't give away your future, like basically your future, the future to your franchise. You just
That's
don't
like
do
it's like
that.
the T Wolves trading Edwards or the Bucks trading
Edwards for
Giannis.
like Edwards, yeah, Anthony Edwards for like yeah, I couldn't even give you a comparison for that. But
Anthony Edwards for Kevin
there's
Durant.
really there's really no because if you try to break it down, there's no comparison you can make for this trade. Like at
No.
all. There's no trade like this. But to get back to what I was saying, I don't hate. uh, here's what I'll say, and I've said this ever since the trade happened. This Mavericks team, fully healthy, big if by the way, fully healthy. If they're fully healthy, they are a very good team. Like that
I think they
that
can be any
that
team in the West
roster
fully healthy.
that roster
I don't think they can be anything in the Westbrook.
I think
on
fully
that
healthy, they could
roster.
go toe to toe with OKC.
I
Mm-mm.
agree. As
I
an
don't think there's
OKC fan,
anyone
I
on
I
the
don't.
agree.
Thunder who could guard Anthony Davis
No,
on a
dude, no.
every
The
play. I don't.
Mavericks kill us. And in terms of how this trade works against OKC, I like laughed at it for a second. I was like, okay, we don't have to deal with Luke anymore. This is a terrible matchup for OKC. If they get us at the right time, get, the Mavericks are sending us home in like six because, bro, this Mavericks roster is so good. I've said this since this trade happened. This Mavericks roster is so good. It's just the fact that they gave away Luca tears it all down,
And like
devalues it all for
people
me.
forget they've been playing pretty good basketball when Luka was hurt. And that's
Yeah,
why they made that trade because they saw that they were playing good basketball. And then you add an Anthony Davis to the mix. I mean, oh my. Because Doncic, I mean, there's a lot of concern with his weight. And there's a lot of concern with his ability to want to go do it all the time. And there seems like there has to be something else. There has to be something else that we don't know that happened. Because I don't know. I can
yeah. And I
I
mean,
hate
they
the trade.
traded him
I hate the
away
trade for the
for.
Mavericks.
you hate
I
it?
don't.
Oh, I do too. I hate
I
I
this
hate
mean,
the
trade
trade
I
for
for
the
the
think it's dumb
Mavericks.
Mavericks.
because you don't give up a top five potential player ever.
Yeah.
But I still
It's
think the
so
trade gives them a
the
better chance to
Maverick.
win this season.
See, I'm different than you. I don't think this gives them a better chance. I don't think there's any chance that this team wins the finals this year or for the next 2 years with Anthony Davis as your best player. Because, first of all, you give up generational offense. Yes, you get back better defense. I understand that. But AD is not giving you the same type of offensive production that Luca was. Plus, Luca was a part of the same team that was a top 7 team after the trade deadline last year. That's the dude that you traded away. They say he provides no defense, even though he was a main part of the team that was the seventh best defense in the league last year and got you to the finals. If you're so worried about his defense, build a team around him. There's players all time greats that haven't been good defensively that have won championships before. And you still don't trade them. Steph Curry wasn't a good defender in 2015. They still won a chip. Like it just doesn't make any sense to me. The only way I see this Mavs trade being a win for them is if they go win the finals. Not being a 1 seed, not getting to
No,
the
I agree. I think
the
this
only
is
way that this
you
is a
have
win
to
for the
win
for the
now.
Mavericks is if they win a championship. That's the only way.
I think they can do it.
I don't think they can
I
do it. I don't think they're
they're
better than Thunder, Nuggets, Lakers. Probably just those three. They probably beat anybody else in a 7 game series. The Rockets probably give them a little bit of fit too, but I don't think they're getting to the finals. Western Conference Finals maybe. That's it again if AD can stay healthy and
yeah,
Kyrie.
Hey,
Kyrie,
that's if
I
AD.
just
Yeah, that's yeah.
I just want to touch on this real quick. Watch out for the Clippers. Them
eh.
signing Ben Simmons, high key
No,
a sleeper move. Ben Simmons
yeah,
is
I was
fully
because
agreed.
did
healthy,
put up like what 12 and 10 his first game or 12 and 7?
like 12,
He
9,
put
and
up he put
6 with
up
like three
12, 9,
steals,
and
two
6 with like
blocks.
three steals. Yeah, yeah. He had
Yeah,
a
He
like
definitely helps them
crazy debut.
defensively.
I mean, Ben Simmons is he's definitely not what he once was, but he's still one of the best passers out there, one of the best
Yeah.
defenders when it comes to passing lanes, and everything like that. So I think the Clippers could be a sleeper team if Kawhi is fully healthy. But moving along now to the All Star Weekend, let's just get right into it. We're going to start with the Kia Skills Challenge, and they did it a little weird. They have Team Cavs, which is Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. Usually it's like 4 players or two or at least three, but it's only two this time. Then you have the Team Rooks that has Alex Starr and Rozier, or whatever his name is, the Atlanta rookie, number one overall pick that no one talks about. Then you have Team Spurs because they need to have Victor Wembanyama in there.
Yeah.
So they just gave him Chris Paul, his unk. And then you have Team Warriors, which is Draymond Green and Moses Moody.
Moses Moody.
And like, why is Curry not doing this?
Yeah, Moses Moody was a random pick. That
Like
was a
they could
very
have picked
random
like
pick.
a lot
Yeah.
of Jimmy Butler. I mean,
Which I guess I don't think Jimmy wasn't part of the team when this was announced. But even like
okay, but like
Dembski would have made more sense.
Buddy Hield or something
Or
like
Budward,
Moses
yeah.
Moody is. I just,
Budward.
I, hey, Buddy Hield sucks, but he's so bad. He's one of the worst NBA players there is, and people are like, oh, he makes threes. Watch his defense. Watch him on a
Yeah.
back cut, and then tell me how good
He's
Buddy Hield
useless.
is. But who do you guys have in this little challenge? I'm gonna take Team Cavs.
I'm
I'm
gonna take Team
taking
Spurs.
I'm taking Team Spurs as well.
I'm taking Team Spurs because Vic Wimby's like really like agile for his size. Yeah,
Yeah, but Evan Mobley is
a
too.
lot of
People forget
skill.
that. Evan Mobley's
Yeah,
very
exactly.
good.
Yeah, but Mobley's no
I don't.
Wembanyama.
Yeah, he's not as skilled as Wimby. I think I'm
And
gonna
I
take
think
Wimby because
Chris
obviously Chris
Paul is
Paul is one
more
of the more.
skilled
Yeah,
than Garland.
yeah.
Or
Well, no, it's
Mitchell.
yeah. I'm gonna take Team Spurs.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I could see it, but
I think it's going to be okay. I think we can just get this out of the way. The Rooks are last. They're not doing
oh
anything.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Alex
The
Sarchet shoot three.
Warriors aren't doing anything with rusty bucket Draymond and unproven Moses Moody. So it literally just leaves the
They
Cavs
could
and
have
the
put
Spurs.
Kaminga in there at least.
They could have put the come bucket in there. Yeah,
If anyone else wins this besides the Cavs and the Spurs teams, I'll be very, very
Watch
surprised.
Draymond just have like a moment
Legacy
of his
game.
life, like just
Just
Draymond
light
hit
it
like a
up.
pull up three,
Has
like
like
just
the
like
most like
straight cash.
perfect has the most like
like
perfect
that
skills
like
challenge run of all time.
that one game in the 2016 finals where he had like 35. His legacy
Yeah,
game. That's going to be him in this skills competition. But moving along now to the Starry 3-point contest. Who's the reigning defending champion? Who won last
It's
year?
Dame. Dame.
it is Dame.
Okay.
Dame did win last year.
So
Dame's seeking a third straight 3-point contest title.
so Damian Lillard is hurt, but looking like he's going to play in the 3-point competition. So the other people in the contest go as Jalen Brunson for the Knicks, Cade Cunningham for the Pistons. Didn't really consider him a elite 3-point shooter, but he's here. Darius Garland, another decent 3-point shooter. Tyler Hero, pretty good. Buddy Hield, only thing he can do is shoot threes, so he's in the right place. Cameron Johnson, another okay 3-point shooter. Damian Lillard, obviously 2-time defending champ. And then Norman Powell also has won some championships in this contest as well. So who do you guys have in this contest?
I'm gonna go with I like Tyler Hero in this one. I think if you look, this is such a weak slate because
It is.
Budward usually isn't on. Cade Cunningham isn't even a 3-point shooter. I don't even know why he's in
Yeah,
there.
I have no clue
Uh,
why he's there.
yeah, I have no clue why he's there. Darius Garland is a good 3-point shooter. That Norman Powell is shooting 43% from three this season,
Hey,
but
he's balling out
Tyler
24 a game.
Hero, yeah, no, he is. I think Damian Lillard's injury will, set him back a little bit for the 3-point contest. Hero's been hot. He just got his first All NBA bid or first NBA All Star bid. His confidence is up, and that's what you need in the 3-point contest. So I'm putting my money on Tyler Hero.
I'm also gonna go with the first time All Star. I'm gonna go with Darius Garland. He's been absolutely electric this year. He's the second reason, well, maybe probably the third reason why the Cavs are as good as they are. He is killing teams from the three. I mean, off screens, catch and shoots, off dribble. Doesn't matter. He's making them. I'm going with Darius Garland.
I'll take someone who plays like Darius Garland, but much better, Jalen Brunson. I'll take Brunson to win the 3-point
I don't hate the
competition.
Brunson pick.
When he gets hot, he is insane, and
Yeah,
I could see him getting hot in this competition.
Yeah,
Also, another sleeper. Don't be surprised if Cameron Johnson somehow figures it out.
yeah.
There's
I can
always a
see Cam
sleeper
Johnson.
guy, and it could be him. So um, that'll definitely be interesting there. But moving along now to the dunk contest. The big main event, you could say, even though sometimes it feels like the 3-point competition is the main event. I'm trying to see who's in the dunk contest, but I'm unable. I don't know.
It's Stephon Castle from the Spurs, Matas Buzelis from the Bulls, Andre Jackson Jr.
Jackson
from
Jr.
the Bucks, and then Mac McClung from the Magic.
And
Still don't know
McClung.
how Mac McClung gets in these, by the way. If
He gets in
isn't
them
even
because he
playing.
just knows how to dunk. That's kind of
Yeah,
how it
but
is.
he said this would be his last one. But he's also like Dame. He's also seeking a third consecutive title for his respective contest, and I think I'm going to go with him again in this one, just because the other two are rookies. Then Andre Jackson Jr. is also pretty young, and Mac McClung knows what it takes to get a 50 and knows how to get high scores. So I like Mac McClung in this one.
I'm gonna go with Castle. I think
Yep.
I've seen some of those Castle dunks, and it reminds you of a little bit of a Derrick Rose, just the way that he attacks the rim, punishes the defender under the rim. I don't know if he has any type of special dunk that he's gonna do, like in terms of maybe like a 360 through the legs. I don't know if he can pull off that, but in terms of how like aggressive he is with dunking, it'll probably earn him a couple extra points. So that's why I'm gonna go with Stephon Castle.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
agree
I'm
with
not gonna
that.
lie. Sorry to bring this up, but the two-hand back scratcher on Benedict Mathurin was very
Oh no,
Derrick
that was nasty. That
Rose.
was disgusting.
Was
And
was
then Matthew
very
had to push
Derrick
back.
Rose.
Oh,
That
the
literally
Matherin
reminded
dunk.
me of Derrick Rose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when Stephon Castle dunked on Mathurin in Italy, not Italy, France.
Oh, hey, Matherin's thrown down some crazy dunks this year
He
himself,
put
but
Mathurin in that
yeah,
that
conversation.
Castle dunk was insane. I'm gonna take Castle as well. He's
yeah.
really the only NBA player who plays in these selection. Like, who is Borzelis? Who
He's
is
the
that?
he's the rookie from the Bulls. Like what was he like the 14th pick, 13th pick,
Yeah,
12th?
he was four.
Does
I
he
think he was
play?
14.
No, not really.
Yeah, he does now.
Well, he does
At
now, but he
at
was
the
jumping in
beginning,
between the
he
G
got
League and the
I
NBA.
watch occasional Bulls games, and I've never heard of him.
he dropped like 24 last night or something.
Or something like that.
Yeah,
He's been trending up as of
he
recently.
knew I
He's
was
been
going to
balling
talk shit.
recently.
He knew. That's funny. Andre Jackson Jr. What team does he play on?
The
The
Bucks.
Bulls
He's like that
or
one dude that was guarding
Bucks. Sorry.
Tyrese during the playoff series last
Uh,
year.
he sucks. Yeah. So yeah, give me Castle.
Ernest.
Mac McClung. I mean, I think we've seen everything he can do.
Yeah, I think he might. I think he might get voter fatigue this year. He might get a little bit.
I don't think there's like I don't know like Zach LaVine probably could win this thing every year, but like he got a voter fatigue, and I think the same's going to happen to him. But moving along now to the final thing. Oh yeah, the All Star game. Aiden, can you explain how that works?
Yeah, so there are four teams. There's Shaq's OGs, Kenny's Young Stars, Chuck's Global Stars, and then Candace's Rising Stars. Basically, it's just a four-team bracket. Uh, Kenny's team plays Chuck's team first, and then Candace's team plays Shaq's team. So it's kind of just like a four-team bracket for those teams right there.
And what are your guys' picks on the teams?
I think Chuck's Global Stars have by far the best roster. They have the two MVP, only two players that
Well, they
will
got
probably win
Jokic
MVP this
and
season.
Shay,
Shea. They have
Shea.
Wembenyama. Yeah, that
Cat.
team is they have Giannis, even though Giannis isn't playing. But Cat, yeah, that team
That
is
team is
nasty. So I know I'm going with Chuck's team.
Okay, so I've stuck with this team for the entire week. I'm once again going with Kenny's Young Stars because I believe that they will try the hardest out of everybody because they have the biggest chip on their shoulder to go out there and prove that they belong in the All-Star game. I
I
mean,
mean,
obviously,
I could
Ant,
see it.
Kane, Brunson.
I could see it.
I think they're gonna try hard.
Isn't there's going to be like a Rising Stars team, like whatever wins
Yeah,
that?
but that's like rookies and like a couple of second
It's not
years.
four players, yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, I'll go ahead and pick Chuck's team. They have the MVPs,
They
and
do have the MVPs.
I don't know. Maybe the MVP show up. I know Jokic doesn't really try in the All Star game too often, so who knows if he will this time.
He might not. I don't think he will though. It's just something about Jokic.
All righty, and let's get to our final subject of the day. A game called This or That. That means that we're going to name a player, and that player is going to be Jalen Hurts for today. And we're going to say a player's name, and you say, would you take Jalen Hurts or that said player? Let's get right into it and start at the bottom of the barrel and work our way up.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts or Tua Tagovailoa?
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Jalen
I'm
Hurts.
taking Jalen Hurts.
I'll take
Now,
Jalen
if
Hurts.
this is the national championship game, then we'll take it Viola at
Yeah,
Alabama.
true, true.
But in 2025, it's Hurts.
All right, here's another tough one. Jalen Hurts or Caleb Williams?
Jalen Hurts.
Hurts.
I take Jalen Hurts. All right, Jalen Hurts or Matthew Stafford?
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen
I'm
Hurts.
taking Hurts. His ability to
It's
run.
close as a passer though,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would
but
say I
all
would.
around because Hurts has the legs too.
Okay,
yeah.
Jalen Hurts or Justin Herbert?
Jalen Hurts.
I'll take Jalen Hurts because he's a proven winner, but I
Hurts
don't
did just win
know.
Super Bowl, so I'll give it to Hurts, but I do think it's close.
I think it's very close. Okay, Jalen Hurts or Sam Donald?
Or last when he heard that.
Jalen Hurts.
I'll
Jalen
take
Hurts.
Hurts. Okay, Jalen Hurts or Jared Goff?
Hurts.
Ooh, I'm taking Hurts, but that's interesting.
I'll take Hurts. Okay, Jalen Hurts or Baker Mayfield?
Jalen Hurts.
Hurts.
Nah, I'll take Hurts.
There's a few names that I'll draw the line at, but for right
I'm
now,
not
Hurts.
gonna rip into it. I could go Baker there, but I won't. Um, here's an interesting one. Jalen Hurts or Jaden Daniels?
Right now, it still hurts, but give it a couple of years and Daniels could be
I
right
would,
there.
yeah, I would say Hurts because Hurts also blew him out in the playoffs when it mattered. So
Yeah.
But Daniels is only a rookie.
I know,
Yeah,
no, I
give it a
understand
couple of
that.
years.
He'll probably be
I
better in a
think
couple years.
I think give me Jaden Daniels. If I'm
Mm.
starting a team right now, give me
Okay,
Jaden
if you're starting the team
Daniels.
right now, okay, okay.
If I'm starting right now, I need a QB. I'll take Jaden Daniels.
I'll
Okay,
agree with that.
Jalen Hurts or Jordan Love.
Jalen Hurts.
I'm thinking Hurts, yeah.
Jordan
It's
Love is too hit
close.
or miss.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Jordan Love
take
throws a lot of
Hurts.
picks.
Hey, during a Toyotathon, I think it is Jordan Love OP. All right. This is now I'm about to start throwing out some names that might cause some controversy. Jalen Hurts or Brock Purdy?
Jalen Hurts.
I think I'm gonna take Hurts, yeah. I
I'm
think I'm
gonna
gonna take
take Hurts, but I think Brock Purdy is better than what people are saying he is.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think San Fran had a lot of injuries this year, causing them not to be as good. But I don't know. I think they're still a really good team. All right, Jalen Hurts or Joe Burrow?
Burrow.
Yeah, that's where I'm gonna have to cross the line. I think
That's one of the
Burrow's a little
lines where
bit better.
you can't have to
Yeah.
cross.
Okay,
I
I
think
would
although it's close, I
I
would
don't think it's
still
close
take
at all. I think
Burrow.
Joe Burrow's like levels above Jalen Hurts. Honestly, I think this Eagles team with Joe Burrow would even be like, oh my, Joe Burrow with that line, like
Yeah.
Burrow with any real offensive line, actually.
it would be insane. All right, Jalen Hurts or Lamar Jackson?
Lamar.
Lamar.
Lamar. Yeah.
Jalen Hurts or the man he beat in the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes?
I'm still taking Mahomes.
It's still Mahomes,
I'll
but
take
one
Mahomes.
or two more bad years for
Years, yeah.
Mahomes. And if especially if Jalen Hurts keeps winning, it's
All right, I got two names for you. I think the last one is going to be a really good one. Jalen Hurts or Josh Allen, the MVP.
Allen.
yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna take Allen because
And
yeah,
then I think I saved the best for last. These guys are, I don't know who you take. Jalen Hurts or CJ Stroud?
Jalen Hurts.
I'm still taking Hurts, yeah. Like
CJ Stroud had such
Stroud,
a bad
Stroud
year.
this year had such a bad year. Well, after Stephon Diggs got hurt, he was kind of balling for like the first 4 weeks. But after Stephon Diggs got hurt, it was just all downhill. So I'm taking Hurts.
Yeah.
I think it's really close. I really want to take Stroud because I still think he's going to be a really good quarterback. I think that just Houston had some internal issues. But I mean, I don't know. Jalen Hurts really proved to me he can throw it in the playoff run. It'll be interesting to see what he does next year because teams are going to kind of know and have like the whole book on the Eagles. So we'll see. But right now, give me Jalen Hurts over CJ Stroud. And I think that's going to be it. I think there's no other names that could even really cause
Hey, Anthony
controversy.
Richardson.
Huh, that's funny. Hey, Anthony Richardson or Bryce Young?
I'm taking. Well, okay. If we're talking about right now, I'm taking Young because he actually
I'm
proved.
top taking AR
Huh?
still. I'm
Yeah.
still taking AR.
Oh, you still taking AR?
Yeah,
If you're talking
I
about
don't know.
potential wise, yeah.
I
But
think there's just stuff with AR you can't teach, and he
yeah,
has that. And there's the stuff he doesn't do you can teach. It's just a matter of fact if he's going to listen or not.
The best
yeah. I
ability
feel
is availability.
that's
Some
For
also
that
of his
reason, I'm taking
max.
Bryce Young.
Hey, Bryce Young was always there. He started balling at the end of the year.
he did.
He was. Yeah.
Hey, shout
After he
out
got
Bryce
benched,
Young.
his post benching performances were actually pretty good.
You could
He actually
say
won
the
them some
same about
games.
AR,
Yeah, that's true.
but I don't know. Hey, wouldn't it be funny if CJ Stroud like is the worst of the three?
It will be that would be pretty insane if that happens. If it's like
I
a
could
complete
almost
turnaround.
guarantee you that will not happen.
I can see a world where Bryce Young or AR become better than like one or the other, like pretty convincingly. But I don't see either of them jumping CJ Stroud where he is right now and where they are right now. Unless I
Yeah.
have to see a big jump from both of them.
I don't know. I think it could be interesting. I don't know. I think they're all talented. I think it really matters who's around them. And
Yeah.
sadly, for Bryce Young and Anthony Richardson, they're around a dumpster fire. So poor guys. Same with Houston. What happened to them at the end of the year?
Their O line sucks.
And they're like
Yeah,
all their wide receivers were hurt.
All their wide receivers got season-ending injuries.
yeah. Shout out Tank Dell.
Yeah, that was
But I think that's gonna wrap up episode 5. I think it is.
yeah.
Weekly episodes coming out from here on out. Every Friday is going to be the day we're going to post them. So this will be coming out today because we're recording this on a Friday. But as always, it's been fun. And until next time.
Yes, sir.
See you.